So Kyleakin FC is a village football team from the south end of Skye. We play in the Isle of Skye League. From all that we've kind of researched, the club goes back as far as 1930. We've played since back then. We've uncovered old newspaper articles, etc. of the club, and even back then it was kind of being commented on that the club possessed the best veneer of a turf, which I think for Neil to see here today, it's one of the best parks on Skye. So yeah, it brings together quite a lot of the local men. Predominantly it has been guys from Kyleakin that have played for the team. A few more have kind of come in the previous years as kind of people move away, etc. But yeah, it's very much a local football team, and one that everyone kind of gets involved with. Like you see kind of guys like John Robertson and even now Alexander McDonald, they've kind of come on board, and although they're not as heavily involved in the playing side of things, the club wouldn't run without these guys. John Rob's up here pretty much sometimes twice a week, making sure everything's in order, from cutting the park, lining the pitch to putting everything out, and Alexander, or Pi as he's known to the boys, he's kind of stepped into that role and looks after the boys, whether it's kind of making sure that they've got the right shorts and everything. So yeah, Kyleakin is really a village football team for everyone, and it brings everybody together, and yeah, it's just a great club to be involved in. Yeah, it's always been the community's football team, and everyone kind of rallies around and comes together. We've got things like the local gala that's held each year, where the football club pitch in with that. We'll all kind of take a wee stint on a stall, or we'll help out with stewarding the road races and doing the bar, and from that all the different community groups come together, and then the profits from that are distributed, and we get some great things from it. So yeah, it benefits the local community huge. It gives guys something to do on a Saturday. It lets the younger folk kind of come along. I think you'll probably see tonight quite a lot of folk come along to watch the games from the local village. So yeah, it benefits the local community in lots of different ways.
But over the last kind of 5-6 years, it's, I suppose you could say, a bit of a transition period in the league where it has kind of dropped, but it is starting to come back now that there is a bit more strength and a bit more competitiveness in the league. I mean, last year it went down to the final day where 4 teams could have won the league on the last day, with ourselves, Malig, Slate and Portree Juniors. It actually went as close as Slate missing a penalty in the last minute that set up the chance for us to come down here and beat Juniors, which we did, and it went to a playoff with Malig, which we lost 2-1 in the last minute again. So, you know, they're all pretty close between the 4 of us.
There's no better place kind of location wise with the scenery, but for me personally, kind of the best things playing about Skye, I was born and raised here, moved away for education, and with my job I've kind of had to move away, but it's kind of coming back each week, and you just pick up with your mates. You get to play with your mates every Saturday, enjoy a game, and then you kind of socialise afterwards. But it's a good setup, the league here. There's 9 teams, predominantly from Skye and Localish, but we've accepted a couple in the last kind of few years that have really added to the league. Malig came into the league last year and went on and won it, which, you know, is quite an achievement in their first season. Yeah, it's a competitive league, it's fun, you play with your mates, you play against some of your mates, but then afterwards you enjoy it, and yeah, I think we've been quite successful over the years, and that's probably one of the most enjoyable things as always in football, I guess.
I have guys in the squad, the older pros when I took over, you know, that were really helpful with me. And the guys like Chris touched on earlier about John Robertson and Pi, and these guys that look after the team, and they help you with all your paperwork, and even likes of cleaning the change rooms on the Saturday, cutting the pitch. You know, everyone kind of mucks in with Kyleakin, which is good. Tonight's a local derby between Kyleakin and Kyle, which you would expect. You know, there's only a bridge between us. Over the years they've been quite feisty. They would, you know, lead into, you get the bragging rights on nights out, but since I've been playing, they've kind of become a lot more friendly after the game anyway, because you're playing against guys that you were in school with and guys that you've grown up with. So there's still that competitive edge for the 90 minutes, which is good. But after the game, it's kind of forgotten about, and we'll go down to the pub and have a pint, and that'll kind of be it, which is really good in Skye football. It is a friendly league, but for that 90 minutes, you know, you can be booting some of your mates up in the air, and it's quite fun doing that as well.